sport for quite a while now, but now it's blatant. I mean, if you didn't think it was blatant when they left Florida State out from when the playoff for going 13-0, you have it now because these TV networks are paying these schools and conferences millions and billions of dollars. And one of their biggest properties being the Michigan football team, you're not going to take those eyeballs off the TV screen. You're not going to tell them that they can't play in the postseason. That would basically tell the networks like, hey, man, you're just flushing money down the toilet. So the sport that I love so much, college football, is changed. I won't say it's tainted. It's just changed. It's not what it was when I was a kid. It's not what it was when my brother was young and all that type of stuff. It is a different ball game now. So for us Ohio State fans that are crying and whimpering about, like, well, no, look what they did. They ended Coach Tressell's career over tattoos, and they're just going to let them get off. Totally different times that we're living in, man. It's 2025. That was like 15 years ago. All that stuff happened with Coach Tressel. It's a different time now. It's a totally different game. It's a different ball game. If dudes are jumping in the transfer portal left and right, guys are getting paid left and right, it's a totally different ball game now. So we're just all going to have to either live with it and watch or go find something else to watch on TV on Saturdays because this is a whole new ball game.
Ro, what up, Ro?
What's going on,
Ro reached out on the. He's watching the show live on the Facebook page. He said, "What's up, fellas? Let's get to it. Michigan got off cheap." He says.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. They got off easy. I mean, when your fine that you pay is less than it would be to get out of the Big Ten conference, it's to say Michigan, like you talked about all the time, like, hey man, Ohio State, they're always playing at noon. They should go independent. Well, in this case, the fine that Michigan has to pay is less than it would cost them to get out of their Big Ten contract to be independent. So how much of a fine is it really? And also, who's footing the bill? Who's footing the bill for
lacrosse?
That? Yeah.
Softball.
Yeah, so the fine isn't that drastic. You're right. The penalties that could be coming down are guys that are in the NFL or in coaching high school or coaching elsewhere. So that's not the point. You still have to levy a punishment that would fit the crime. They said that it was a crime. They said these are level 1 infractions, and level 1 infractions are supposed to do this and supposed to be the biggest and baddest infractions that you can do. But yet their title remains. Those wins remain. They get to play in the postseason. They get it all. So they pay a little fine, and they just continue on. Because you know what? The other thing that that used to get teams back in the day was scholarships, reductions on scholarships. Well, guess what? In this new age of college football, scholarships really don't matter because guess what? You can pay a kid X amount of dollars to offset the cost of a scholarship. So we're in a whole new world. We're in a whole new world of collegiate sports. Like I said before, we're all going to have to get used to it, like it, love it, or leave it alone.
And that's all right. If they would have lost those athletic scholarships, all of a sudden there'd be some kind of chemistry scholarship coming in or whatever exactly. To cover it. Lots of interesting excerpts coming from the report that was released earlier today. How about this one? This one's my favorite. Nicole Arbach, she did a good job of kind of highlighting some of the key excerpts from that report. This one saying that Harbaugh ran a program that was largely dismissive of rules compliance. There was little, if any, emphasis on following the rules. So you hear that, you read the previous excerpt where it talks about the fact that although actions justified a multi-year postseason ban, the penalty would unfairly penalize student athletes for the actions of coaches and staff who are no longer associated with the Michigan football program. Your head coach, who is actually a part of that entire cheating scheme to begin with. So I call BS on that. And the other thing is, this is how it's always been. It's always been the case where, unfortunately, students, coaches, whatever, are punished for the mistakes of others. And that's just how it goes. But no, if you are a Michigan fan and you're happy about this, okay, you should be happy. If the roles are reversed, I'd be happy too. But to sit there and poke fun at those who are annoyed with it is also kind of weird as well. Like, you can't feel good about it. Like, all this whole time kept saying, prove it. This report proves you cheated. Basically, when a report comes out and says, although actions justified a multi-year postseason ban, but yet you're going to sit there and act like you guys still did nothing wrong and continue to make silly comments like Troy in the comment section who continues to act as if his program did nothing wrong. You feel good about that banner. You feel good about that championship. More power to you. I feel a hell of a lot better about Ohio State's championship last year. That was clean and done the right way. than opposed to the dirty cheating scandal and the cowards that Michigan was 2 years ago. So
yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to be like the person that seems like all high and mighty and like, oh, my program has never done anything wrong, and we're the best. We do the clean. Like, so there's levels to this.
Yep.
There's levels to cheating and acceptable levels, I guess I should say. Paying players back in the day, duffel bags of money and stuff like that. But then you get to this level of it's just different. It's just different. And I mean, we in, Big Ten country, Ohio State, we complain about the SEC. Well, they're paying their players, that's why they won all those championships in a row. True or false, whatever, however you want to view it. It's still in the realm of like, well, kind of is what it is. But this ain't, it is what it is. You can steal signs if you do it the good old fashioned way by like looking across the field and deciphering it right there on the spot, as opposed to showing up and taking notes and video and yada, yada, yada. That's why nobody looks at, what they did in baseball with trash cans. They always look at that with a ire. Like, people don't give them their props. People don't give them their respect for that. And nobody's going to give them Michigan their respect for their national championship they won. They can be happy. They can hoist it. They can brag about it. But guess what? Nobody else will. And you know what? I always bring this up. This proves that football is the biggest sport in the world, well, in the United States.
Yeah.
Because the same university that took down the banners to the Fab Five will raise a football trophy and a football banner for something that was flat out cheating. Flat out cheating. What Chris Webber and the Fab Five did, take a couple dollars to go on a spring break trip to Miami, is nothing compared to what the Michigan football program did. So, it's just laughable. But like I said before, it kind of is what it is. It is what it is, man. We can either continue just to harp on it and bang on it and bang on it and bang on it, or, just learn to deal with it. Because guess what else? When's the last time you heard a player being suspended because he got bad grades?
When's the last time a player went to class?
Yeah. So, like, we are in a different world of collegiate sports. Like, they're not doing all the things that, former student athletes had to do. Like, student athletes of the 80s and 70s, like, were in class with the regular student body. A lot of these kids now that are on full rides to these big powerhouse programs, they're taking classes online. They're doing all their classes at, whatever athletic facility and stuff like that, which is fine. This is great. Cool. It's making sure guys are getting through and all that good stuff. But it's a different world that we're living in collegiate sports, and we just going to have to deal with it. Yes, we should be upset, especially because we are ones, Ohio State, that got hosed. And also Michigan State got hosed as well. You know what I'm saying? Those are going to be the biggest programs out there that are talking about how foul this is. But guess what? At the end of the day, we can either continue to watch or not watch. Because guess what? The sanctions are what they are. They're not going to be punished in a fashion that we all deem that would be good enough so we can watch it or not.
I only feel bad for Michigan because I thought they were going to get to celebrate 1,000 wins twice. They only get to celebrate it once now, as far as that goes. Troy on Facebook, on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page, says, most Michigan fans didn't state nothing wrong. That's words you are putting out. You guys thought Natty was going to be vacated, was wrong. Deal with it. I don't actually know. There's a difference between saying what I thought was going to happen and what I think should happen.
Right.
What I think should happen is completely different than saying that they were going to have their Natty vacated. They should have had every win that came during that era. I mean, there's enough proof in this entire report that they would have been justified to do so. Basically, They said they were justified in doing so, but they felt like it wouldn't be fair and yada, yada. It is what it is at this point. But again, Troy and others, if you think today's a win for your program, that's a weird move. We cheated. We got away with it. You guys suck. Like, what are you winning here? What's your point? What's your angle? What's your takeaway? I don't get it. But
just super weird, man.
It is. It's a weird take.
And for me, like I said before, I don't want to seem like the high and mighty guy, man. But is that how you want to win? Is that really how you want to win? Like, I'm not a parent. I have a nephew. He's 10 years old. He's playing football, lefty. He's a quarterback. He's fast. He throws pretty good for a 10-year-old, stuff like that. But like, the biggest thing that I talked to him about is, being a good leader and winning the right way. Yes, it's corny, it's cheesy and everything like that. But at the end of the day, that's how you should play. You should play the game. You should play the game with integrity. You should go out there, win, lose, or draw. Whatever happens, happens. You shouldn't rig the deck. You shouldn't rig the deck in your favor so you can win. Because guess what? When you cheat, like, did you really win? Did you really put forth the effort to win? Or did you rig the deck in your favor so you could win? Like, this isn't like going to Vegas and counting cards, dude. Like, it's a football game. I wish I did.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, it's not cheating if you win money. I'm just saying.
Well, they won a lot of money because they helped J.J. McCarthy be a first-round pick.
Well, and he's helping himself prove we were right on that, by the way. I can't wait to watch him fail. I'm just saying, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. He took a shot at Ohio State in some press conference yesterday.
Oh, yeah, talking about offensive lineman. Yeah.
He's slick. He's slick. But we appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us here again. The Justin Kenner Show presented by Frickers, live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. We're going to be out here until about 5 o'clock, so come on out, say hello. We're outside on the patio. KB is busy today. He was going to pop out, but he has, he had his cigars ready to go. He had them ready to light up out here. But where's your cigars?
None for me today.
And because you're a friend, I'm not lighting mine up.
Appreciate you.
But or we'd have just switched spots. So is what it is. All right, good stuff. Justin Kenner, Kev Nash, the Justin Kenner Show live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. We'll step away for a few moments. There was more to the punishments that were handed out to Michigan, of course. And this one's probably one of the funniest ones of all. Find out what happened or what's going to keep Jim Harbaugh out of college football for quite some time. And Connor's, I always call them Scallions. Connor Stallions. Also, we'll find out what his punishment is when we come back as well. Justin Kenner, Kev Nash, live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. We will be right back.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Our forecast mostly clear tonight. Some patchy fog and 71. We'll see that patchy fog in the morning. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. High of 92. Chance of storms Sunday and 91. Rick Schremp for 1410 ESPN Radio.
1410 Wing AM, Dayton's ESPN Radio, powered by.
Need a U.S. passport? We can help. Hi, this is Mike Foley, your Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. Visit one of our convenient auto title locations in Heber Heights, Clayton, downtown, Moraine, and Centerville. Make us your first destination before you travel abroad. No appointments ever needed. We do passports.com for more info.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
If you craft it, crush it, and clock out proud, United Alloy wants you. United Alloy in Union is expanding and hiring skilled welders, fabricators, and painters who know their craft, take pride in their work, and aren't afraid of a challenge. Join a growing team that values safety, respects your skills, and delivers exceptional results. If you've got the skills and work ethic, United Alloy has your next big opportunity with positions on first, second, and third shifts. Make your move. Apply today at UnitedAlloy.com. That's UnitedAlloy.com, an equal opportunity employer.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places. What you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. From budget to the best. From desks to filing cabinets. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to want to go anywhere else. Larick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 Mac Oil Avenue in Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larick's, continuing the tradition. If you need new roofing, siding or gutters, skylights or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. See Lance Roofing and Siding at their new location at 6903 Dayton Springfield Road in Enid. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722. Online at lanceroofing.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earn.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Did you wake up with joint pain? Does it hurt doing the most routine activities? Have they told you it's time for knee or hip replacement surgery? Hey, it's Keith Byers. You deserve a life of comfort and ease. No surgery and no meds. And if you're a good candidate for these new treatments, QC Kinetics can get you there. These are the nation's leader in regenerative cellular treatment. This technology that's giving people like you an option other than surgery. An all-natural approach to treat the root cause for your arthritic pain. QC Connect joint pain treatments are life-changing for so many people. Tens of thousands of satisfied patients with more every day. Get back to work, get back to enjoying life with lasting relief from chronic joint pain. No drugs, surgery, or downtime. Oh, and you can use those HSA and FSA funds towards your treatment, especially if you have funds that are getting ready to expire. They could be spent towards giving you relief. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Dayton or call 937-936-0325.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental car is included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-292-0975. 800-292-0975.
All right, and we are back. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. The show brought to you by Frickers, and we are live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. We're going to be here. It's about 5 o'clock. Again, Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. Dayton's radio home for Cincinnati Reds baseball. We do have Reds baseball coming up here later on tonight. 6:40 going to be the first pitch with 6:10 pregame coverage starting right here following the show coming up later on this evening. The Reds are a half game out of a final playoff spot, and as we sit here right now, again, they're going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. Since 2020, 30-51 is the record that the Reds have against the Brewers. Already 2-5 against the Brewers this season. They haven't won a series against the Brewers since 2023. It's been a minute. And to be able to
multiple minutes.
to be able to capitalize on this opportunity to jump into a playoff spot. And by the way, let's say you get into that final playoff spot at the end of the night. Doesn't mean you're in the playoffs. It doesn't mean anything. But for the Reds to be playing meaningful games in August, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I don't think I've ever been able to talk about the Reds playing meaningful games in August. So that's pretty exciting. Balancing that talk out with everything going on with Ohio State as they prepare to defend their clean non-asterisk national championship, by the way. They didn't have to cheat to get theirs like that cheating team up north did. But, you know, the Browns and their ongoing quarterback search right now, of course, so we'll talk about Shedeur Sanders coming up here in just a little bit. The Bengals have a preseason game on Monday night. They'll be going up against the Commanders and that defense, and they're going to be playing some starters, so we'll get to that here shortly. So, Kev, we opened up with, of course, we knew it was going to be released this week, the findings of the infractions report for Michigan. And one of the key statements that, you know, we highlighted when we opened up the show was one about the fact that actions justified a multi-year postseason ban, but the penalty would unfairly penalize student athletes for the actions of coaches and staff who are no longer associated with the Michigan football program. Adam Rittenberg with ESPN, who played a role in the reporting and coverage of this, he's going to come on the show next week to give us a deeper dive into all of this. The other one was Harbaugh ran a program. This isn't my – it is my opinion. It's also a fact because it's in the report. Harbaugh ran a program that was largely dismissive of rules compliance. There was little, if any, emphasis on following the rules. A very dirty run program during the stretch of Harbaugh. When it was clean, they were not good. When it was dirty, they became good. This isn't hard to figure out. Connect those dots.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's as clear as day what went on. And forget all that, man. Let me ask you this. Have you run into a Michigan fan that feels guilty? Because every Michigan fan that I've run into about the situation, they're peacocking. They're walking with their chest out. They're talking reckless. They're talking noise. They're like, no, nothing is going to happen, which they were right. Nothing did happen of any consequence. Have you run into a Michigan fan that feels icky about winning this national championship? Because I haven't.
No, what I came across a lot.
That's adjective too.
Yeah.
Icky.
Yeah, icky. What I have come across a lot is like emotional hedging. Emotional hedging. And that is, man, like Shaw, for instance, if Shaw shows up today, social media, this ain't good, Michigan fans. So he was trying to connect the dots. If this isn't good, they're having a press conference. This isn't good. You know, just emotional hedging. Just this isn't good. This is going to be bad. But now the report comes out. The chest is out. You talked about the peacock strutting and all that fun stuff. Yeah, no. I haven't come across anyone. And look, and I don't expect them to say, you know what, I don't claim that championship. Claim the championship. But don't act like we're like when they gaslight you, like we're crazy for believing that they did something wrong. That's where I'm getting irritated with that whole ordeal. Like, if the roles are reversed, they wouldn't be following their own advice, as far as that goes. So it is what it is. But no, long answer for your short question. No, I've not come across anybody that's remorseful about this whatsoever.
Yeah. Do you find that weird?
No, because I do wonder. I do wonder how we would be as Buckeye fans if this exact scenario played out in Columbus and Ohio State won the national championship. I would still be leaning on, messy, don't like it. Actually, that's not true. I would be embarrassed if Ohio State had to go to those lengths to win. So that's not I'm not going to do that and say it would probably be the same. I don't think it would. Because I've said this before. If Illinois ran this scheme to try to beat Ohio State, I would get it. I'd understand it. If Michigan State, if this whole thing played out, same region, but with Michigan State, I would get it. I wouldn't support it. I wouldn't say, they didn't do anything wrong. I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. But when you're Michigan and you have to go to those lengths to win football games, that's weird to me, Kev. That's right. Weird. You're the smart kid that's cheating to pass a test. That's weird to me. Illinois, kind of dumb, right? Kind of silly. Like they're not the smartest kid in the class. So if they cheated to pass the test, I would understand it. I don't understand Michigan having to go to those lengths. I don't understand Harbaugh having to go to those lengths. And maybe we do. Look at the record before it started and look at the record now. I think we all understand it, actually.
Yeah, I mean, people do strange things to keep their job. Like, he wanted this job. Like, let's not forget, like, he was a quarterback at the University of Michigan.
Yep.
This is the job that he coveted. He wanted to win a national championship. And, lesser people have done crazier things for money, for fame, and to keep their job. So he's no different from, anybody else. I do know for a fact that I knew several Ohio State fans that were extremely disappointed in Coach Tressel for Tattoo-gate.
For the lying part?
For lying.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just freaking tell the truth. Why did you lie? Like, now we're in this situation. Maybe not making excuses for him. Well, some people definitely did make excuses for Coach Tressel. But, it was just like, dude, you lied for what? For some tattoos? Like, that's the reaction. Now, granted, we live in Ohio. We don't live in Michigan, so we're not privy to a very wide Michigan fan base. But the Michigan fans that I run into on a personal level and in public, they're peacocking. They're like, well, we got the national championship. Y'all just mad this. Y'all just mad that. Well, yes, we are mad. There's no doubt about it. We're mad. Michigan State is mad. So yeah, you're correct. You're right on that part. You're mad. We're mad as fans, and we're also mad that you didn't get any punishment. So you're right. And you were also right that you weren't going to be punished. But from my aspect of it is, it always goes back to, do you want to win the right way? And that doesn't necessarily mean, the old school mentality of, oh, man, 3 yards in a cloud of dust and all that type of stuff. But, hey, man, did you go out there and did you win? Did you win or did you get assistance? And they got assistance. So for everybody out there that doesn't believe that Barry Bonds is the home run king because he took steroids, this is the same thing in my book.
Yeah, they're the Barry Bonds of college football. There you go. There it is. No, that's a like I said, if I'm a Michigan fan, I still claim that championship. So you can't take that from me. And that's the same thing like for Michigan, for basketball back in the day and all that. I've always said you could take that away from them, but you're not taking anything away from them. Like, you're not going to go into their minds unless it's like that movie Men in Black where you with that little device where like look into the light, put your sunglasses, it's nothing like that. But I can't believe I'm going to do this. But me and Doug Gottlieb are close friends, right?
Bud.
Oh yeah, I can't wait when Wright State plays Green Bay this year. It's going to be a little awkward, to be honest with you. But he was filling in for Colin today. And I appreciated his take on this because he's right. We feel Michigan got off easy. We wanted them to suffer in the court of public, perception and opinion and all that stuff. We wanted wins taken away. You take wins away from Michigan, their athletics department keeps moving forward. It doesn't impact their day to day. Okay, they have to take a piece of cloth down or a piece of wood that they hang up in the big house. Okay, it doesn't impact the day to day for the athletics department. They didn't, if you think they're going to learn their lesson because they had wins taken away, they're the winningest program ever. First program to get to 1,000 wins, all that stuff. You're not taking anything away from them technically. We act like it's a slap in the wrist. So Michigan has to pay the NCAA $20 million, and it's going to be close to 30 when you add the fee, some extra fees and all this stuff. $30 million in today's climate when everything is being allocated, when there's, now you could pay for your sports. They've already allocated dollars to these sports. You're going to have to go in and pull from these. The athletics department is being punished, but we don't relate to that. We don't live that life. We don't connect with it or understand it. So we think they've gotten off easy. They are financially getting a hammer put on them, and it will impact them in back-end ways that that's not going to be visual when we're watching games and stuff like that. It is a big penalty that they got. From his take that I was listening to earlier, from that point, I do get that. We don't follow the financials. We don't follow what these schools do with this money. We just think it's an unended, supply of cash. They did get hit pretty good with the cash, but again, that's not going to make us feel better or think anything of it. We wanted them as fans to have those wins taken away because those wins were against our team.
Right.
Those wins we witnessed and they're tainted and all that stuff. So yes, they punished them, but not to the way that we would have seen fit, if you will.
Yeah, I disagree because
Doug Gottlieb, boo.
I disagree because the fine is not enough.
Yeah.
So Doug Gottlieb and I are roughly the same age. So I remember my uncle telling me how great Eric Dickerson was at SMU and all this type of stuff. So back when I started really watching college football, I was just like, oh man, who was it? It was Maurice Clarett. I was like, Maurice Clarett, best running back I've ever seen. Yada yada yada. He's like, man, you need to go ahead and go do your Googles and figure out,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, Eric Dickerson and stuff like that. I was like, well, what happened to him and everything like that? Well, he took a Corvette and there went the program. I was like, over a car? Yeah. So if a program can go down over a car, a Corvette or a Mustang or whatever car you got, a program should be going down the tubes over cheating.
Yeah.
And $20 million is not going to cripple the Michigan athletic program. It's not. It's simply not. Because you know what? They're making that from their media deal every single year from CBS and all the other stuff they got going on. So that's not going to cripple them. Now, do I want the program disbanded and crippled? And no, I don't necessarily want that, but I want a punishment that make me say, ooh, or inverse penalty so harsh that it'll make any other program out there that thinks about doing it say, nah, we shouldn't do that.
There's a lot thinking we should just do this.
Yeah.
We'll have $20 million set up to the side.
And we win a national championship. Because you're right. They're not going to take the memories from the fans. They're not going to take the memories from the staff. They're not going to take all those memories and the joy of winning the national championship. So I'm sure, like you talked about, from an Illinois or any other, mid-level program out there, you tell them $20 million, we can get you a national championship. They'd be like, yeah, let's run it. Let's do it. So for $20 million for a program like Michigan, the most winning program out there, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing at all. So from my perspective, okay, you look at, I follow Florida State as well. So they're trying to get out of the ACC, yada, yada, yada. It's going to cost them $30 million to get out of the ACC contract. We don't know how much it would cost a team to get out of the Big Ten contract. You know why we don't know? Because the money is so crazy. And also, nobody's going to be leaving the Big Ten because the Big Ten is the Big Ten and you're getting so much money to stay there. So I could only imagine how much it would be to try to exit the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So if that fine isn't even big enough to make a wave in there, man, it's truly not. You think about all the money that's coming in from the boosters, the money that's coming in from the TV networks, the money that's coming in from apparel, the money that's coming in from boosters and left and right. $20 million is a drop in the bucket, man. It's a nothing burger.
Yes and no. Money, big money that comes in like that, it's budgeted and there's plans for it.
Mm-hmm.
And although there's more money coming in, they've already budgeted that money that's also coming in. That $20 million disappears. It's not just a pot of money that's sitting there with no purpose. It has a purpose. And this is why I find it hypocritical to say that we're not going to do multi-season, postseason bans because we don't want to impact the students that weren't even here for that. But you know who you are impacting? That will impact. We joked earlier, but it's not a joke. Softball. It's going to impact the I don't know what's revenue sports for Michigan or not, but the low end revenue to non-revenue sports.
The Olympic sports.
Those students who had nothing to do with the cowardness of the Michigan football program, they're the ones that get impacted. So don't say that, we're thinking of the student athletes. If you're going to punish the program, don't give them the out to just take the money from other programs to funnel that in to fill the gap. So, no, I'm with you. There's a ton of money coming in, but that money had a purpose, that $20 million to $30 million, whatever it is. There was a purpose for it somewhere. They're going to have to fill that void to replace.
But you know what? You know what? That's why it's a penalty.
It's like a drug cartel.
That's why it's a penalty. Like, it's going to be a hassle to move these dollars around. Well, that's the cost of doing business. That's your fault. That's why you're being fined. You and I work in radio. There's a whole bunch of things that we're responsible for that our former bosses used to have to do, that we have to make up the difference for and have to make sure things keep rolling. Hey, man, I didn't create this problem. This was a document signed by 2 bosses before me. Yeah, but you're in the seat now, so you got to fix it. That's the job.
Yeah.
That's what you signed up for. You said, okay, you'll sign your name on this contract. So now this is going to be your responsibility. So fix it. So athletic director, president, if they're the same dudes or new dudes or whatever the case may be, you accepted the job at University of Michigan. You player accepted a scholarship to Michigan. Oh yeah, by the way, we on a postseason ban for some stuff that they did a couple years ago. That's what you signed up for, bro. Sorry, that's what you did. And guess what? You can always hit the transfer portal. So I don't feel too much sympathy, dude, and I truly don't feel like a $20 million fine is anything. I truly don't. I truly don't. When you talk about a program that's valued in the hundreds of millions, and guess what? Oh, you're gonna have to take away from softball. You're gonna have to take away from track and field. Oh well, that's your fault. That's your fault.
And that's why when they say that we didn't want to penalize him too much because the athletic director's gone, the head coach is gone, Stallions is gone. Well, the head coach, your head coach. This is why I thought Michigan should not have gone the route of keeping their. Well, actually, it doesn't matter now. My thinking at the beginning was Sharon Moore whether he should. I didn't think he should accept it because you got to be careful the first job you take because that can impact others' perception of you.
Yeah,
whatever. I also think Michigan shouldn't have gone that route too because it made them vulnerable to the NCAA saying, well, if it was some other coach that had nothing to do with this, we would not come down as hard on you. But this coach played a role in it too.
Right.
Sharon Moore played a role in this. He knew about this. This is the same guy that was boo-hooing for the coach that you said ran a dirty program. So I don't get it, don't like it, but it is what it is.
But check this out, though. Check this out.
Yep.
Coach Moore suspended for 2 games this season and then suspended for
1
a game next season. Like, it's just laughable about how this whole thing has transpired over the last couple of years. I mean, it's just kind of is what it is, like I've been saying.
Next up, Reds talk. Troy on Facebook says SMU was way more than a Corvette. He's just Steve from Springboro seat, by the way. I want to keep the peace. Just you pull up a seat, you just sit right there.
Paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were gonna go through the whole situation with SMU from 1984. I'm sorry, Troy.
Well, Tatgate. Ohio State got a lot more for Tatgate than Cheatgate.
Yeah, for sure.
But at least Harbaugh didn't, tolerate the tattoos. So it is what it is. Chad Kinser says.
No arm sleeves.
Yeah. Chad Kinser says, watching you this morning on the news, I kept thinking it's a good thing that Shaw can't call in. Well, you're right. Shaw can't call in. But since you're watching, look who it is. Look, there he is right there. Shaw's in the house. We're live here, by the way, at Frickers in Miamisburg. And we're going to be here until about 5 o'clock. We're live here again. The Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers, live at Frickers here in Miamisburg. We'll be here till 5. Continue to go through the list here. Oh, Andy, Big Ten commissioner, by the way. Big Ten commissioner, Andy. He says the Big Ten commissioner is saying, give that natty to OSU. No, OSU didn't deserve it that year.
No.
We're not advocating for that, Andy.
No natty. No natty for nobody.
I like it to be earned like last year.
Yeah.
Not like 2 years ago, Shaw. Not like 2 years ago. Brady, what up, Brady? Says if anyone wants to compare the last 2 years, we had an untainted champion and a tainted champion. We all know which is which. So there you go. Ron Howard says too far south for me. I know you're no. Right.
Wow.
It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Let's see. Donald's listening to the show. He's on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page. Cap, he says all the schools that have received harsher penalties for less should be very upset. What do you say to that?
It's a different era, and I agree. Like it's weird, but it's a different era, and we just all have to accept that, man. Accept that this era of college football is totally different. Players are getting paid. Players are in the transfer portal left and right. It's a totally different thing. Like, I mean, you got mega conferences. I mean, you have Stanford and Cal in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I mean, like you have USC and UCLA and Oregon in the Big Ten. Like the Pac-12 is 2 teams. We're in the totally new world of college football, man. It's just you just have to deal with it. You just got to deal with it, man. It is what it is.
All right, we'll continue on with some of this. We got some NFL to get into. Bengals going to be playing their starters tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up as they prepare, of course, for the Commanders. And then, Monday night. They have the Commanders Monday night. The Browns have their preseason game tomorrow with the Eagles. And interesting week for the Browns, of course, is, Shedeur Sanders coming off of that huge start just a week ago. And it looked like it was creating a wrinkle in how the Browns are going to attack this QB race. But the injury bug has stepped in to maybe make it a little easier for old Kevin Stefanski and company with that oblique injury.
Crunches.
Yep.
Many crunches.
We got some Reds talk around the corner. They're a half game out of a playoff spot. They got first place Milwaukee at Great American Ballpark tonight. So we have that coming up. There was a big talk about what the Reds are going to do with Chase Burns. What are they going to do with Chase Burns? Are they going to shut him down for the season? Are they going to move him to the bullpen? Well, he got moved to another list and he hasn't been shut down, and he hasn't been moved to the bullpen. But I don't know when we're going to see him pitch again. We'll talk about that coming up as well. We got a lot more to get into. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, live at Frickers here in Miamisburg. We will be right back.
At the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission, we help veterans and their dependents navigate the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA. We can assist with VA claims, pensions, and a variety of benefits, including emergency financial assistance, transportation, and legal services. If you are a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, a wide range of services may be available to you. Always at no cost to the veteran, we are honored and proud to serve all Miami Valley veterans. Contact us today at 937-225-4801.
Save big money on your kitchen project at Menards. We carry everything you need to turn your kitchen dreams into reality. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles and finishes. Visit our kitchen showrooms in-store or go to Menards.com for free estimates today. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for all of our hot deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON. or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
To the Justin Kidder Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
All right, and we welcome you back. It's the Justin Kidder Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. I'm going to move on to the Reds coming up here in a moment. But, you came out in all your glory, all right? In all your Michigan garb, and I mean garb, it's garbage. David Shaw, you get to defend your team. This is your chance. Now, once you piss me off, I kick you out, and we'll get Kev back in here. That's the rules. So follow the rules. Here, let's make sure, because you're already not following the camera angle rule. Like, it making me have to move what is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Speak up. Speak with your chest. I know you could talk.
I'm a Michigan fan. What do you want?
Cheater.
No,
all right, so
is
this about what you expected? Michigan fan Shaw live again. By the way, the Justin Kidder Show presented by Frickers. We are live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. The report came out today. Not a hammer, maybe not a sledgehammer, not even a hammer.
Nope.
Slap on the wrist, whatever you want to call it. A lot of stuff we forget too. A lot of suspensions have happened already. It's not as if Michigan got off completely free without anything up until this point. But you saw that report about what you thought it was.
Yeah, it's about what I thought was going to happen. It's hard for me to talk on this radio station because what I have to say about it, a lot of people don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, we do. So I put the mic in front of you.
Okay, well then let me go.
No, you're a Michigan fan. Be a Michigan fan.
Let me go here then.
It's not like we've never argued before. We're probably about to argue now. So just say it.
It's not. I'm not really trying not to argue about this at all, but I just find it sanctimonious and very funny to me that
not off to a good start.
Well, you weren't the one being sanctimonious. So I just find it very ironic and funny to me that any program in this country right now can act like they're not above the law. Every program is doing something right now. And I understand, I already know where you're going to go with this. And that's kind of why I didn't want to start here like this. But
yeah,
so let me just put it this way. We know for a fact that Ohio State was doing the exact same thing to Michigan in 2015 to 2019. The difference between what Michigan and Ohio State was doing is we had one idiot that wanted to hire his buddies and send them to games and videotape games and do stuff like that. Now, that's what we got in trouble for. We didn't get in trouble for cheating. Everybody wants to make it out like we got in trouble for cheating. We didn't get in trouble for cheating.
Did you read the clips from the report?
I read the report. I read every sentence of the report. I read all 75 pages, every word of every
front
75 page, front and back and sideways and in between. We didn't get in trouble for cheating. We got in trouble for Connor Stallions.
I mean,
everybody wants to make it out to be that it's cheating. It's not cheating.
Ooh.
And here's why it's not cheating. Because the NCAA knows that sign stealing is happening all across this country. Now, like I said before, and back in 2023, in November of 2023, Michigan went above and beyond of what they were doing on the sidelines and everybody else is doing on the sidelines. And that's what we got in trouble for. And that's what we got nabbed for. But everybody else, Connor Stallion, and this is the part that everybody forgets about Connor too. Connor was on the staff. What does that mean?
Central Michigan staff or Michigan staff?
Both, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Now, and again, that's part of it too. So there's two things Michigan needed to answer for, and I'll take this sidetrack right here, and I'll meet you halfway. Two things Michigan needed to answer for. The Central Michigan thing, I feel they didn't answer for. And then secondly, Sharon Moore deleting the text. I don't care that he found them and that he got them off his phone and wound up retrieving them and yada, yada, yada. By the way, those two things Michigan got in trouble for. Not to the degree that I thought they were going to get in trouble for, but they got in trouble for. Now back to my other point. Michigan was doing the exact same thing that every other team in the Big Ten, except for two, was doing. Rutgers apparently doesn't have a sign stealer on their staff, and Northwestern doesn't have a sign stealer on their staff.
Or a quarterback, running back.
Understand.
Defense.
But everybody wants to act like Connor Stallions in Michigan was doing something that nobody else in this country was doing. It's funny.
Listen, a lot of people eat. Some people eat more than others.
I'm one of them. Yeah,
no fat shaming. I'm here simply to don't act like everyone's running a race from the same starting line. Everyone does.
Everybody's going after a competitive advantage.
Everybody's doing everyone's doing what Michigan did at the level they did.
Let me finish. Everyone's going after a competitive advantage. What are we doing in recruiting? What are we doing by going after the best quarterback in the country? What are we doing about getting the best coaches and everything like that? So we want to sit here and talk about competitive advantages. Well, we're all going after the best competitive advantage that we can get for every program that's in this country. So I'm tired of the narratives that have been pumped for 3 years, and they just got slapped in your face at noon today.
What just got slapped in my face?
The part
where it says the panel determined that a postseason ban would unfairly penalize student athletes for the actions of coaches and staff who are no longer associated with the Michigan football program. It goes on. There's other here talking about how dirty of a program. I'm kidding. The program, the fact that they talked about how dirty the program was under Harbaugh, ran a program that was largely dismissive of rules compliance. There was little, if any, emphasis on following the rules.
And if they had proof of that, they would have hammered them.
So you think that this was just them not having enough proof?
This is exactly what this is. If they had proof of everything they alleged and everything they wanted to run their mouth about, Michigan would have been hammered because of the cheating.
In addition to using widely accepted and permissible methods to decipher signals, Stallions planned and implemented a scheme to obtain direct footage of future opponents' signal callers. Across 3 seasons, Stallion used a network of individuals to scout 13 future opponents, a total of 56 times across 52 separate contests. I mean,
what did I already say?
What?
Michigan got in trouble for Connor Stallions, did I not?
But he's the one that was doing all this, and Harbaugh knew about it, the program knew about it, and they acted like everything was fine.
If they could prove that, we would have gotten hammered.
So what's the 10-year show cause penalty for Harbaugh?
Because he pissed the NCAA off.
And you know that how? Like, you know that's the reasoning. So you're going to ignore the words that are in this.
I'm not ignoring anything. I know what the words say. But the words don't make
sense. Words be damned.
Okay, no.
Okay.
All right, so answer this question then. You guys have already talked about it for a half hour before I even showed up here. An hour,
you were late.
An hour, actually. Sorry, I had to work.
Priorities.
If the report is to be taken as gospel, then how is it Michigan completely destroyed right now?
Well, you read the part where they were cowards and they didn't want to impact students.
Or
they
didn't have anything.
You said you read it, right?
Yes, I've read it.
So that's nothing. All that's nothing.
Anybody can say anything, dude.
So,
and this, I can sit there and write a 18-page resume, not a resume, but a
come on, you're live on radio.
An 18-page thesis saying that Justin Kinner is the worst.
I am not that.
Radio
that was rude. You can't. I don't think you can say that on radio.
In the entire history of all high school sports, and he should never do a radio show again. Now, that
you read my Google
that
reviews.
can go across all of the internet and all over the internets, and we can Google it forever, and we can bring that up.
So you
that,
think you think a Yelp review is the same thing as this document that was released by an official investigation report? A Yelp review and an investigation report is the same thing to you?
Then why is Michigan still playing football this season?
We've already talked about how the report, it's in there.
You have your theory. I have mine.
Yeah, your theory helps you sleep at night.
No, my theory does not help me sleep at night because I would actually rather, believe it or not, amongst what you don't believe, and I don't really care that you don't, I would have actually rather Michigan actually been hammered for this, the way that everyone thought they were going to.
So why
here's why. Because I wouldn't have to hear for the rest of my life that it was tainted.
Are you saying it wasn't? Are you saying it wasn't?
Where's it at on the board?
No. Is that a clean national championship?
Did they win it?
Is it a clean national? Is Barry Bonds the home run champion?
Yes, he's a home run champion.
Fairly, cleanly, everything?
It doesn't matter.
No, it definitely matters.
No, it doesn't.
It does too.
But to who? To who?
What do you mean?
Who does
to the integrity of the game? What do you mean to whom?
What integrity of the game?
I know. Look, that's your guys' motto. I get that.
No,
but
it's to everybody's motto. To what integrity of the game, bro?
I mean, Ohio State won a championship last year. Great integrity, cleanly, rightly, bigly,
and I'm
amazing.
sure they did everything 100% perfect. And
yeah, they kicked everyone's ass. It was 100%,
except for one team.
Oh no, we're talking about the playoffs. We're moving the goalposts like you are here. We're moving the goalposts,
except for one team.
And you know what? That might have been your first real win over Ohio State this decade.
No.
So that's
was Connor Stallions on the sideline.
That's what I just say. Oh, by the way, you act like he needed to be on the. He was doing all his work off to the side. You act like his presence on the sideline alone. His work was already done by the time you got to game day half the time. To act like once they eliminated him in the middle of the season that all the cheating just went away, as if all his information and all the work that he was doing. I mean,
they still have the same information today.
They
have that same information today. Then why'd they go 8-5 last year?
Why'd they go 8-5 last year? They lost all that talent.
They had all that. They had all that.
But by the way, that wasn't a good year. You think that was a good year last year? You think that was a good season last year?
So the talent, it was better than what it was going to be. It ended better than what it was going to be. Like, dude, I can sit here and have two different conversations at the same time. Winning a national championship
if you could just make one of them make sense, that would be very,
very
helpful.
Make sense. You just don't want them to. If you just want to win a national championship, fine, we can have that conversation. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you. There's 135 teams in college football. 134 of them aren't going to win the national championship. So sometimes to some programs, some things mean better.
You lost to Indiana.
And so what?
I'm just saying.
And so what?
You lost to Indiana.
A couple years ago, you got your doors blown off by Iowa. What is your point?
That was more than a couple years ago. I think we're approaching like 8 years.
Come on, man. Like you've lost to us 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about losses? You lost 2 times last year and you won the national championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, congratulations. What do you want? I've given Ohio State their flowers nonstop since January.
You should, because they did it the right way.
Whatever the right way means.
Whoa.
Whatever the right way means. It doesn't mean anything anymore. As soon as the NCAA decided they didn't want to get anybody for having people on wire fraud and having people on actual wiretaps and every bleeping thing else after that, almost. Sorry. My bad. But
see, you guys are just dirty people, all you Michigan fans.
But
the rules don't apply to you, do they? Don't cuss on the air and look at you.
Apparently not. I didn't cuss. I almost did. I didn't. But we want to sit here and hold this game to a standard that just doesn't exist anymore.
No, don't be trying to change topics.
No,
don't be trying to
topics.
Like, look,
it's the
squirrel.
same topic. It's the same topic. We want to sit here and act like this game and college football is this righteous above the law, and it's sit there and it's top notch and it's the most quality part of American history. No, it's not. There's a lot about this game that's wrong. There's a lot about this game that is not proper.
What does that have to do with the fact that you cheated? Outside of the fact that you cheated to win some of those games.
In your opinion,
you don't think cheating helped?
I don't think they cheated to the form that you guys think they did.
You think that they went through all of that because it just slightly gave them a little bit of an advantage?
I don't think it gave them an advantage at all. If you really want my honest
then why did they spend all that money and do that?
That's the part of it I will never know, and you won't.
Well, then I just told you. That's why. I tell you what.
Nothing to do
who
with
won this debate? For everyone that's in the chat, Shaw or Kinner? Just leave it in the chat.
I
We're going to
wonder
step
who they're
away.
gonna pick.
Well, I mean, the right one, of course. So in the chat,
It's your show. Who are they
Shaw
gonna pick?
or Kinner. Half my listeners hate me. What are you talking about?
Not on stuff like this.
Because when I'm right, I'm
And
right.
compared to me and you, they hate me more than you.
Well, if you would just make sense every once in a while.
I do, especially when we talk Reds. I make a lot of sense when we talk Reds.
So you don't make sense right now. You admitting that?
That's why I didn't want to have this conversation.
Because you were going to embarrass yourself?
No, I didn't embarrass
All right, I need you to do me a favor. Take the headset off and get your ass back over there. You're done. You're
Hey,
fired.
I thought we weren't cussing
You're
on the air
fired.
anymore.
No, you can cuss. Just FCC approved cuss words. Get out of here. Shaw or Kinner in the chat. Who won the debate? Kev Nash is going to bring some sensibility back. We'll be right back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium
All right, and we are back. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash here, hour number 2. All right, who won the debate?
You did, of course.
Of course I did.
Go Bucks.
Of course I did.
I baby.
So, you know what? My favorite comment in here, this was from Ryan Strong. What up, Ryan? Ryan Strong said, what is Shaw's favorite animal?
What?
A cheetah. He loves those cheetahs, dude. He's all about that, and Shaw would probably say, how do you know it's a cheetah? It's a cheetah right in front of you, but how do you know it's actually a cheetah? How do you know that, the spots are real? You never know. Chad Kinser says Michigan's natty is as tainted as Bonds and McGuire's home run records. Justin Smith just put an asterisk. He just responded with an asterisk. That's it. Chad Kinser, he says, clean championships mean everything. Sorry, Shaw. And he also said, absolutely, Kinner. Oh, you got one, Shaw. Damon Hahn says, I agree with Shaw. No one is squeaky clean.
That is true. Nobody's squeaky clean. Absolutely.
But when you get pulled over by a cop, you can't just sit there and say, well, I know it's speeding, but that guy over there is speeding. You really think the cop's going to stop and go get that? No, you just admitted guilt. You just admitted guilt. When you sit there and say, everyone else is cheating, well, this is about you're the one pulled over at the moment.
It is a big difference between going 75 and 95.
Yeah, he would show him how fast he's speeding. He'd go, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think that thing's broke.
Yes, the person that's going 75 is technically 5 miles over the speed limit on the highway, but the person doing 95
bingo. Yep.
is ridiculous.
Yep. Ohio State, that's a good point. Ohio State was just going 5 miles out over.
Yeah.
And there goes Michigan, 90, 95, 100, 105,
Absolutely.
110.
So
like Myles Garrett, just speeding down the highway, just boom.
It's a pandemic going on with the Browns.
Yeah.
I think y'all Georgia football.
And Shaw's, he's right there. But Shaw's commenting in the comment section while sitting right here. Anyone that thinks a true hammer was coming down to Michigan doesn't understand the state of college athletics. So he's not claiming they're innocent. He's not even claiming that they didn't cheat. He's just saying, so I told you we weren't going to get punished for cheating.
Hey, man, it is what it is at this point, man. I don't like it. I don't get it, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Is it week 1 yet? Or is week 0? I mean, what do we got?
No, week 0 is next week.
So we are on the cusp.
We're week -1.
So, yeah, that's a Saturday. A week from tomorrow.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow is week 0.
You get a top 25 matchup, too.
What we got?
You get Iowa State, number 22 team in the country, at 17 Kansas State.
Oh, I'm here for that 1,000,000%.
So Sam Houston at Western Kentucky, Fresno State at Kansas, Idaho State at UNLV, Stanford at Hawaii. Look, it's week 0.
Let me boot up my app.
And none of those matchups really, get me up, but it's going to be football.
Oh,
it's going to be preseason football.
So you are more excited for preseason football than real football in week 0?
Well, I mean, the preseason football, at least it's the first time that you get to watch football after a long summer of just the hypotheticals. And as I've stated before, and by the way, 5 million people tuned in to the Hall of Fame game. 5 million people tuned in to watch the backups to the backups to the backups.
And you know what I think of those 5 million people? You need to find a better hobby.
Man, it sounds
that includes my own mom.
I'm on a roll today. I'm winning debates. 5 numbers to back up. 5 million people tuned in to that Hall of Fame game. Oh, man. Thursday at Welcome Stadium.
Triangles.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'll try at the triangle, the Dayton Triangles.
Yeah.
Been trying to figure out who they migrated into. The old internet says the Colts.
Really?
I thought I was hoping it would be like the Chiefs or something, so I could say, see, we do talk about, champion. But no, but then so on that Thursday night on the 28th, they don't have any sexy game on that night. But you like the games better. What? No, I lied. Nebraska, Cincinnati.
Okay.
On that Thursday night, but that says at Cincinnati. I thought that was at Nebraska this year. I thought that was the one. Oh, neutral site. It's over there, basically. But, yeah, I hate the neutral site games. If you're going to play a team, play them there, play them somewhere.
I'm with you.
Basketball, I kind of get it. Still don't like it, but I kind of get it, especially when you have those invitationals. But for football,
you got enough neutral site games. They're called bowl games and, playoff games and everything like that. A regular season game being a neutral site game is Garbino.
So, well, we'll see what happens there. But college football not too far off in the distance. All right, we're going to tag out one more time. We'll come back out. We'll move over to the NFL tomorrow. The the Cleveland Browns, have a preseason game. And last preseason game, got a chance to see Shedeur Sanders for the majority. And then, of course, he has this oblique injury, and there's no set amount of time that he's going to be out. Did this injury bail out the Cleveland Browns coaching staff? We'll discuss that when we come back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. We'll be right back.
A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
Have you lost weight in the past but gained it all back and more? Hi, this is Dr. Justin with Dayton Weight Loss Secret, and we know the secret to losing weight fast and easy and keeping it off long term.
All right, and we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash. We are live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. I can crush only a salad. I can't have like greens and all that stuff. But I can crush a big salad.
Go for it.
Nonetheless, I had my apple already.
I had a salad with our buddy Hooper on Wednesday. We went out for lunch. Somebody was late.
Oh, no, I wasn't late.
Yes, you were. You planned the lunch.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot I got
The person that was supposed to do the show at noon couldn't. He texted the last minute saying he couldn't show up. So, as the boss, you should have been happy that I was late because I was doing my job. If not, you would have been like, what are you doing here? You should have been there.
True. Very true. Very true.
But now, what was it? Oh, yeah. All right. So moving on to the NFL quickly. Hurry up. My goodness.
Find out that information. Obliques.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on. So it sounds like there's vibes of like, who knows how long Shedeur Sanders is going to be out. And then there's others that are like, he's likely not going to play tomorrow at 1. I'd say there's 0% chance he plays tomorrow, but they're scrimmage, obviously the exhibition game, playoff game, whatever, with the Eagles tomorrow. Everything I read from, it's like he does nothing but perform well in practice. He balled out in the preseason game, whatever that means. But again, if he would have performed poorly, he would have stunk. And if he plays well, it's just preseason. There has to be some kind of middle ground there. I'll look, the touchdown throws weren't to wide open, uncovered wide receivers. I mean, he wasn't playing with number 1 wide receivers. He was squeezing those into some pockets that only good quarterbacks are capable of doing. And I don't know if I'm not even advocating that he should be the week 1 starter, but the vibes out of Browns camp, continuously keeping him as the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. I don't buy into that they're doing everything they can to keep him down, but did the Browns get bailed out here with this injury in regards to having to make a tough decision? I was telling Shaw earlier, it reminded me years ago when Cincinnati, they finally put the Bearcats in the playoffs, and everyone said, see, I can't believe they did it. They made the tough decision. I'm like, no, Ohio State made it an easy decision. When Ohio State lost that second game, it made it easy to put an undefeated Bearcat team in. I wanted to see what they were going to do if Ohio State only had 1 loss that year, if they were going to put a 1-loss non-Big Ten champion in over an undefeated Cincinnati team, right? Like, I wanted to see that tough decision. I want to see the coaching staff make a tough decision. It's not a tough decision. Joe Flacco is going to be your week 1 starter. I am very curious what they're going to do between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, because it's not like we've seen Dylan Gabriel in a preseason game. It sounds like that could potentially be tomorrow. But what happens if he doesn't elevate the twos the way that Shedeur did last week? Then there's a problem. Then there's the controversy, or is there controversy right now, do you think?
It's no controversy in my eyes. I said this from day one. I thought Shedeur should have been a first-round draft pick. I think that the Browns are doing it the right way with him and handling it, but it's not good enough for the media. It's not good enough for the fans, because the fans, Colorado fans, Deion Sanders fans, Browns fans, they all want the shiny new toy, which is Shedeur Sanders. But from their perspective, which they're not letting everybody know, is basically, hey, man, Joe Flacco is going to start the season. When we go, whatever our record is, if we run 5-0, if we go 0-5, he's the guy. And we're going to develop Shedeur slowly because we think we got something here. So why do we need to play by everybody else's rules and roll him out there just because the fan base wants to see him, just because he has a crazy fan base and people buy his jerseys? Just because y'all want that don't mean that we have to give it to you. We want to develop the guy slowly to make sure he succeeds, as opposed to rushing him out there. And let's be clear, Joe Flacco is the best quarterback on the football team out of all 20 of them that they got. Like, hands down, he's the best one. So Flacco should be starting. And I believe that Joe Flacco is going to start. Shedeur is going to be the backup. Now, the case may be whoever the third guy is. Maybe it is Dylan. Maybe it is Kenny Pickett. They're playing for third place because talent-wise, he's better than both of them dudes.
Yep.
So I don't like if people want answers and they want them now, but the Browns have never given people the answers that they want right here, right now. And honestly, they don't have to.
So the timetable for Shedeur's absence is kind of up in the air. It says after suffering an oblique injury, Shedeur Sanders will miss Saturday's game against the Eagles. So that was confirmed 4 hours ago. But basically, it's a precaution just to make sure he's ready and healthy to start practices next week. I actually don't mind if they shut him down. Like, I didn't really want to see Shedeur this as much. What I want to see is if you put Dylan Gabriel out there with the same level team, I want to see him elevate guys around him the way we saw Shedeur. Is it the exact same opponent? No.
Right.
But I don't know what the Eagles' approach is going to be with who they play and all that stuff. So
see, that's the thing. That's the thing with the Browns fan base. Y'all are saying if he doesn't elevate it. I've never, and all the Browns fans that I know, I've never heard them say, what if he actually does? Because in reality, y'all want Shedeur. Y'all don't want Gabriel.
I want to win.
Okay, good.
I want to win. And to be fair, I wasn't doing jumping jacks for the whole. So last week on the show,
I got the video from the draft.
Last week on the show, I remember saying, or earlier in the week, last week heading into that preseason game, I was annoyed with a lot of the media that was coming out saying that Cleveland was setting him up to fail. And I said, this is a franchise since coming back has been desperately looking for their Lamar Jackson, for their Joe Burrow, for their Josh Allen. They've been looking for their franchise quarterback since coming back. And if he really was what everyone is saying he is, why would they do everything they could to not put him in position to succeed? And by the way, nobody, after he balled out this past Friday, not one person said, good for Kevin Stefanski. He clearly had him prepared to play. Some of it is Shedeur is prepared to play. He prepares himself to play.
Yeah.
But it's not all the player and it's not all the coach. But there has to be enough moving pieces to have a successful outcome. And based on preseason, I don't care about the results of the win-loss. I care about just what we saw from him. We saw a guy that looked the part. He was making professional NFL throws. He wasn't throwing to wide open guys, just dink and dunk and whatever. And if it was that, take what the defense gives you, fine. But he was making good throws. So I was very satisfied with what we saw after that first game. But it did get it didn't surprise you at all that they kept him even after that. Not that he should have been shooting up the depth chart to the backup or the starter. But was it weird that they kept him at 4? They kept him at 4? Are they keeping Kenny Pickett stock up to trade him? What are we doing here?
I'm good with it. I don't think it's weird at all. I think that they're doing their plan. And I think from fans, we want answers, and we want answers right now, and we want them to tell us what's going on. I mean, we did an NFL draft show, and we were speculating. Like, the whole point of the draft is them teams keeping things close to the vest. As a fan base, of course, you want to know. Like, we want to know who's going to be the starting quarterback for Ohio State. Is it going to be King Hose or is it going to be Julian Sain? Well, guess what? Ryan Day knows, but he ain't telling you until he has to. And that's the same way these NFL teams are operating. Like, well, what does it matter? I know that Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback. Why do you need to know that he's the second quarterback? What good is it going to do you? Like, that's from the Browns' perspective. From a fan's perspective, obviously, you want as much information as humanly possible because we're fiending for NFL football. And once the football gets here, then we can really evaluate it. I don't have a problem with the Browns taking the slow approach with Shedeur because I honestly think it's the best thing for Shedeur and the Browns to take the slow approach because guess what? The reality of the situation is he is a 5th-round pick. He is a 5th-round pick. So we don't need to rush this thing. It's obvious that the coach and the GM have job security. They've been there for a while. Guys have got extensions and stuff like that. So there's no need to be like, all right, man, we got to get the new shiny object out here. Be totally different if he was a 1st-round pick. But he's a 5th-round pick, so you can slow roll it.
But he was a story in the draft because he should have gone in the 1st, fell to the 5th. I don't look at him as a legit 5th-round pick. Like, if he goes on to start for Cleveland this year and is their guy, it's not the Tom Brady story of, oh my gosh, can you believe a 5th round, Tom Brady, no one gave him a chance and look, he came in and did this. Shedeur, I look at differently. I look at, he should have gone in the 1st round, 2nd at the absolute latest. He's a 1st-round talent that got picked in the 5th for reasons we don't all know.
Right.
And maybe reasons that I thought last week, well, maybe he went in the 5th because he's not as good as what everyone says he is. Maybe he's not getting reps with the first team because he's not as good as what everyone says he is. If he would not have played well on Friday, it's because he's not as good as what everyone says he is. But I don't think that's the case. So I don't. And then when you look at the last couple of years, do I look at him as a C.J. Stroud? No. Do I look at him as a Jaden Daniels? No. Or maybe. When the Texans drafted Stroud, no one thought that the Texans were going to go on to win the division and win a playoff game. The Commanders, sure as hell, nobody last year. I mean, the big thing for them was, did they end up with the 2nd-worst quarterback in that rookie? The second-best quarterback in the draft, which still no one was going to be excited about that because everyone wanted Caleb Williams. The Commanders, I'm not saying Cleveland's going to be Houston or the Commanders in the last 2 years, but if he is that, if they get that right, that's the straw that stirs everything. If Shedeur is the guy, if he has, we've seen it the last 2 years. The last 2 years, we've seen what we have deemed the best rookie season of all time. We've seen that broke back-to-back years. Who knows? I just think quarterbacks are a lot more ready to take it slow. I don't believe in that approach anymore just because these guys are coming in ready and ready as ever. We'll see what happens. But I do like Joe Flacco starting. I think that makes sense to ease him into that. But the Dylan Gabriel thing, they shouldn't have drafted Dylan Gabriel or they should have drafted him.
Right.
They screwed up by drafting both because if Dylan Gabriel wasn't drafted then and they take another receiver or something with that pick and then they take him late, I'm fine with it. I have no issue with it. I just have I don't know which quarterback I have a problem with yet. The odd man out.
Yeah,
because they wasted a pick. You traded back to get an additional second-round pick and a first-round pick for next year. And you used one of those picks to draft a quarterback and then another quarterback later. You basically wasted that pick because if Shedeur's your guy, that's a great thing if he's good, but you wasted that second-round pick. And then if Dylan Gabriel's your guy, you created all this drama and created all this mess for no reason drafting Shedeur later in the draft. So I think it's fascinating. I really do. I think this whole thing's interesting. Even if Cleveland wasn't my team, I would find this whole dynamic interesting.
To quote Super Bowl champion Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
Browns is the Browns.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I at the same time, too, I do trust Kevin Stefanski. He's made it's wild. The only quarterback he hasn't been able to make it work with is Deshaun Watson, who was a top 5 quarterback when they got him, who was at one point was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL when they got him. The only quarterback he has not been able to make it work with is Deshaun Watson. Every other quarterback he's had success with. So we'll see what happens. The other thing I am questioning too, like if you truth serum into the Haslams, into the general manager, into the front office, are you a winning team this year? Because if you're not, there's really no reason to put Joe Flacco out there week 1. There was no reason to bring Joe Flacco back. Joe Flacco, to me, signals you're trying to win games early. And maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to, hey, the defense gets better from last year. Because on paper, I like the Browns' weapons on defense. And they just did not play well last year. Everyone blames the offense. I blame the defense. That defense should have had them in a better position to win some games. But the bottom line is that defense turns it around. Okay, if the defense turns it around, I think they can maybe make a little noise early and surprise some teams early. Who knows? But what's the Browns' direction? Is that what it is? Let's just see what we have, and then from there we'll go?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the direction. And, I mean, shoot, this is the NFL, man. Like, we have these preconceived notions going into each and every season about who's going to be good, who's not going to be good. Nobody and their mom thought the Minnesota Vikings were going to be what they were last season. So there's always a surprise team out there. I mean, we talk about it till we blue in the face about, all right, man, half the teams that made the playoffs last year aren't going to make it this year. Let's try to figure out who is and who isn't. Like, that's what happens in the NFL. So we don't know what's going to happen. We try to figure it out. We do our best. We debate it. We talk about it. It's a great time talking about it before the season comes. And then the season comes and the season plays out. We analyze it and talk about it till we blue in the face. It's a great time. But the reality of the situation is, as of right now, we have no clue. We think we know. I think I know. But I got a question for you. What is Shedeur's ceiling? Is there a quarterback in the NFL like, all right, man, if Shedeur is this player right and when his career is at his peak, is there a guy out there that you could see he'll potentially like, all right, that's who he's going to be?
I have no clue who he is. If his last name's not Sanders, I'm probably not even giving him any attention at all. His flair is so bright.
I love your honesty, man.
I have no idea. I really don't. You said earlier you weren't wrong. We want it to be Shedeur. Yes. If we don't know anything about Dylan Gabriel, we don't know anything about Shedeur. I want the flashier, more interesting, charismatic personality. But if Dylan Gabriel could throw a damn football and he could win you games, beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to take the boring quarterback. All right. Is he, as flashy or anything? No. But I don't think that matters. But if you could have your cake and eat it too, if you can have a personality like him, like Sanders, and he be good and win, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I think his ceiling is Dak.
Crap.
I think his ceiling as a quarterback in this league is Dak Prescott.
Okay.
So it's a Pro Bowl level quarterback, highly compensated quarterback, by the way. So I think that's his ceiling.
I think Cleveland will do that. They'll take care of you too. You know?
Yeah, and people look at Dak and people can't stand Dak. I've said this a million times. Like, I think Dak is the most hated quarterback in the NFL, but he produces. They get a lot of wins, puts up great numbers. It's that pesky playoff thing that's getting in the way for Dak. But I think that is Shador's ceiling, to be a Dak Prescott level type of quarterback.
Which is, I mean, that's a lot higher than what some people are giving him right now. That's a lot higher than what some people are giving him right now. Is he Jaden Daniels? No. CJ Stroud? No. But then again, maybe. I don't know. Well, I can't sit here and say no. But because I didn't have confidence Friday. I thought it was going to be a disaster Friday. I really did. I thought it was going to be very, very bad on Friday. And it wasn't the touchdown throws. Like, it could have been guys wide open. No one was at him, and he just throws it to him. It was those rolling out to his left, throwing with pressure coming down on him, squeezing it into tight windows like that. And he's doing that with backups. I do want to see in that last preseason game. I'm hoping by that last preseason game they can get him out there with ones. I want to see what he could do with ones. But that's just me. They see it in practice. Who knows? But all right. Step away for a few moments. We'll pick up with this when we come back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. The Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Other thing too, as far as the Browns are concerned, might be getting Quinshon Judkins back. All charges are gone now.
Yep.
I don't know what that means as far as the NFL. If they're gonna, they couldn't even take it to trial. There was not enough evidence to even take it to trial. So do you still get the NFL suspension? I don't know. How important is it for the Browns to get him into camp as soon as possible? I mean, again, not being like, I'm not, overlooking that, but like if there's nothing there, it's just a football situation. Now you got to get him out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I said this when everything was going down with him, like the NFL and the Browns, they have to let the legal process do what it's going to do. I don't think as a league, you need to get involved in legal stuff until after everything happens.
Yep.
Apparently everything has happened. There are no charges. So
Get
there's no penalties should be coming from the NFL. Like he didn't do nothing wrong according to the law. So let him go to work.
Yeah. I don't like you're accused of anything.
Yeah.
The NFL suspends you right away.
Yeah. Like let the legal process play out. If they find out you did something wrong, then okay, the NFL, you cool getting hammered. But they didn't find he did anything wrong. There's no charges. Let's play ball.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Same thing with Isaiah Bond.
Yep.
Hey, they didn't find anything he did anything wrong. Won't be prosecuted. Let him play ball. Unlike Rasheed Rice.
Yeah.
He found out wrong. Unlike what's Jordan Addison. He did wrong. Guess what? He got suspended for 4 games.
I was just gonna ask how long he's out.
Hey, you get found wrong, you're gonna get the penalty. Then you don't pick penalty. That's simple.
All right. I just feel bad for JJ McCarthy. This is the first time he's had to play without sign stealing and stuff. I hope he can get through it. When you cheat your whole career, then you have to stop cheating and play the right way. I just T's and P's told JJ, hey, Shaw, we're on the air. If you could keep it down, please, we're on the air. We'll be right back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, 1410 ESPN Radio.
The ONN Daily Podcast. A recap of
presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, of course. Wrapping things up here on a Friday. I hear it's an anniversary weekend for you and the wife.
Yes, sir.
And you're celebrating by working, I hear?
No. Well, yes, working, but then tomorrow we are headed to a concert out of town. Gonna be a good time. Gonna get some good food, hang out a little taste, doing what grown folks do.
Well, good. I'm working. So,
I know.
But not anniversary weekend. So.
I know.
So,
you're working.
So there's that. But now we wrap things up. We talked, of course, about the Michigan being a bunch of cowards and cheating scandal. Nonetheless, what do you make of them appealing it? We're following it during the break. They're appealing.
Out of here,
just
man.
let it go.
Let it go. It's like the Kendrick and Drake situation. It's Drake keeps bringing it back up.
This Drake will be the Super Bowl halftime show next year.
He'll bring it up there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's over, man. Just accept your little slap on the wrist and go away. Go away. You won. You won the national championship. You won the situation. You were right. We were all wrong that you were going to get punished. You were right. We were wrong. Just go away. Take the slap on the wrist and keep it pushing.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's almost like they celebrated that today because it was a slap on the wrist. And now they're feeling themselves, and it's like, well, let's just test our luck.
Let's see what else we can get away with.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to me. But to be honest, though, I'm over it. Talking about it, and them appealing it just keeps that door open for it. So it's like, just put us all out of our misery. Just accept your punishment, you cowards, and go on with your day, your season is what it is. But nonetheless, Ohio State. So we had Dave Biddle on the other day.
Good friend.
Nuts. We're talking about the Jim Knowles situation. I know Matt Patricia is the defensive coordinator, but in any other scenario for any other program, if you lose a defensive coordinator that helped lead you to a national championship and you lose that DC in conference, that's not a good thing. That's why I asked him, I know this sounds funny, but that's not good, right? Regardless of who you replaced him with, losing a defensive coordinator that you had success with to the points where you won a national championship because of that defense that he ran, to act like he didn't have a role in that, that's just not fair. He may not have had them cooking early on. You could say he was the blame for the Oregon loss early. It doesn't matter. Your job is to put you in position to win a national championship, and he and everyone else did that. That to me, I think, is still that Penn State game, I can't wait for when we get closer to that. But that adds a huge wrinkle to that big matchup that's going to come. I think it's a problem losing your defensive coordinator like that, regardless of who you replaced him with.
Absolutely, 100%. You lose your DC, you lose your OC, and you're breaking in a new quarterback. And then, not to mention, obviously, I know Jeremiah Smith and the superstar power that he is and the great player he is. But like you always talk about, Emeka Egbuka is overlooked.
Yep.
He is overlooked. And he was a security blanket on third downs for Will Howard. He was a security blanket for, Kyle McCord on third downs as well. So he's a reliable guy. So you're breaking in a new starter in his spot. You're breaking in new offensive linemen. You're bringing in a whole bunch of dudes. So, yes, losing a quality DC, losing a quality OC is definitely a situation that Coach Day is going to have to figure out for sure. Yeah, the people that just oh man, yeah, Matt Patricia, man, he was helping to get team Super Bowls in the NFL. Always going to be turnkey. I don't know that it's going to be turnkey. I'm expecting it to be turnkey because it's Ohio State for sure. But to just basically say, oh yeah, I'm not worried about nothing. If Jim Knowles was here, I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't have anything to worry about. I know that this defense is going to be lights out.
The one other thing we talked about too was the fact that Ohio State got pretty fortunate last year. Outside of losing your center, injuries really didn't hurt the team too much last year. They played 16 games last year. You had to win 16 games, and if you would have made the Big Ten championship, you would have had to 17 games is what you would have played, almost a full NFL regular season. One thing we talked about where it's going to look weird. There's so much hype and attention on Jeremiah Smith. He's not playing. He was playing with a seasoned veteran quarterback in Will Howard. We looked at him as a newcomer because he was a new Buckeye, but he was a veteran quarterback.
Yep.
College football didn't matter. he was not a stranger to college football, and he played at this level. It's not as if he was a scrub by any means. And I'm not saying Julian Sayin or Keenholz is, but he's going to be playing with an inexperienced quarterback regardless. Guys who have been around a minute outside of Julian Sayin, but overall, this will be their first year as starters. I always wonder, we talk in the NFL when you have that type of, you're debuting a rookie quarterback and they have a Jamar Chase or something like that. You're worried about them feeding them the ball too much, or that too much of a security blanket. It's going to take a while. I'm wondering in year 2 with Jeremiah Smith, like how much is whoever's going to be named the quarterback, probably Julian Sayin, how much of a security blanket can that potentially be at fault to where, oh crap, I have to get him the ball. Instead of running the offense to spread the ball around, just do whatever's comfortable. How much pressure is going to be on the quarterback to get Jeremiah Smith the ball? Not saying it's coming from him, but you're going to have that sense as a quarterback, an inexperienced quarterback, that, damn, I got to get the ball to him. All the hype's about him. I have to get him the ball.
I mean, it's not even a young quarterback thing. It's also just an indie quarterback thing. We saw that with Kyle McCord. He was sometimes just dropping back like, hey, how the phrase go? F it, Marv's down there somewhere. Yeah. He did that a ton of times, and Marv bailed him out because Marv was great at Ohio State. So I know for sure whoever the quarterback is, they're going to have a couple of those plays. Definitely. But, you do have a lot of breathing room for development after the Texas game. So let's just knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Obviously, we all want Ohio State to win and beat Texas on August 30th. Matter of fact, go to wingam.com right now and register to win a VIP watch party. Shouts out to DraftKings Sports Social up there in Columbus. We're going to send you and 7 of your friends up there. Food on us, drinks on us. So obviously that's going to happen. But there's runway to get better throughout the season before, you take on a Penn State later on in the season. And there's going to be runway for them to develop and stuff like that. I mean, we saw this in the playoff. You talk about it all the time. The Will Howard that was in the regular season was not the Will Howard that we saw in the playoffs. Yep. Will Howard has some great games, and then he has some, he's just out there. Even though the slide, and that's the thing that people remember about the Oregon game, if you go back and rewatch that game, trust me, they play it a billion times on Big Ten Network. Go watch the performance that he put in that Oregon game in the first game. It was great.
The throws, everything. It was the playoff Will Howard.
Yeah, and then you go back and then watch playoff Will Howard versus Tennessee, versus Oregon, versus Texas, versus Notre Dame. He balled out of control. So I think at some point, whoever the starting quarterback of Ohio State, they're going to get there. I just wouldn't expect that in game 1 versus Texas.
Justin Kenner, Kev Nash, live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. We only have a little bit left out here. We are excited, though. Football season, high school football next week. Battle of Kettering, Alter Fairmont next Thursday. Keith Byers and I will be live there bringing you week 1 high school football action right here on 1410 ESPN Radio and our sister station, 101.5 Hank FM. Really excited about that. College coming up around the corner to NFL, but we're going to be at Frickers a lot.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to be at a different Frickers location each and every Sunday throughout the NFL season for the Sunday morning tailgate show, recapping college football Saturday, and then, of course, getting you set for that week's slate of NFL games. So, Byers back for another season with us. Excited about that. We'll be doing that again, but we're going to be bouncing around to different Frickers locations. So on the show throughout the week, we'll be announcing where we're going to be as far as that's concerned. So keep that in mind. But that's why the high school football kicks off. And they've been practicing for a month. We're going to go call the game and fans are going to show up to games. But these kids have been practicing for a month, 3 weeks, whatever. My goodness, it's been hot.
Are you ready?
No. No.
You're in better shape. You've been working out.
No,
you lost some weight. So when you take the equipment up the steps in the heat, you'll be better prepared.
Yeah, I need to talk to my OM about getting some hours for part-timers to go set up for me, like back in the day.
We got part-timers?
Yeah.
We got a street team.
There we
know
go.
That.
So, yeah. What am I doing tomorrow? I'm going to be in Trotwood tomorrow with Faith. Because we don't have, I'm just saying,
the wife and I thank you.
Yes. You said I have fans over in Trotwood.
You do. Every time I'm in Trotwood, people come up to me like, "You're Kev Nash from Kenner and Kev." I'm like, yes. It's like, where's Justin? He always be talking about the Bengals. I was like, hey, man, I'll try to get him out here. So you will be making an appearance out there at Madison Park tomorrow, 6 o'clock. See my guy, Justin Kenner, hang out with Faith Daniels. Come get some hot takes about the Bengals. Come get all your info about Shador because he has the inside track about Shador's oblique. So, yeah, Kenner out there in Trotwood tomorrow. Madison Park.
I'm taking the hot Hummer.
Pull
too.
up. Hopefully,
I hate driving that Hummer.
Hopefully somebody put gas in it.
That is true. I'll just take the van just to be safe, or my truck. No, because we have to have the signage and stuff. No, when Schlemmer and I did the show, R.I.P. Schlemmer, but Schlemmer and I would always laugh at. He'd be out somewhere, I'd be out somewhere. They see Schlemmer. Where's Kenner? They see me. Hey, where's Schlemmer? I'm like, we don't. The show ends, and then we go our separate ways. Like, you don't
not attached at the hip.
So we'd kill each other if that was the case. Just saying. Like, I think
for sure. But I am excited for the football season. I know I have not been on the show as much as I would like, but I'm definitely making it a point to be a part of the show a lot more, especially in the fall, especially on those Monday recapping, Ohio State victories, recapping, Bengals potential victories, recapping Browns losses, the good stuff.
Speaking of Will Howard real quick, the good stuff. How about, was there any hope at all that Will Howard could be an NFL quarterback? Obviously, that's kind of shot now.
Broken hand.
How long is he out?
They said they're trying to get him back before the last preseason game. I don't understand the rush. Like, just go ahead and put him on the PUP list and just have him.
How long are you out if you're on the PUP?
I think 6
months?
Weeks.
Okay. I was like, ooh. Man. Who's their backup? Oh, yeah.
Mason.
Okay,
Rudolph.
then they're in a fine thing. I saw Aaron Rodgers had his calf all wrapped and iced up.
That's what happens when you're 40 plus. Where's my bell?
It happens. It happens. The AFC North between Shador, Joe Flacco and the Browns, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, Lamar. I mean, it's just that there's no shortage of storylines.
Absolutely. I mean, I know why everybody talks about Aaron Rodgers being old, because he is old. But I think that Shador being with the Browns saves the Browns from the Flacco is old conversation, because guess what? They're about the same age.
Knock on wood. Flacco's sturdy. Like, by the way, he towers over every one of them damn quarterbacks.
He's 6'6".
I never realized how big he was. But, like, when they show any pictures of them at camp or whatever, I'm like, he towers over those dudes and all that. But nonetheless. All right. Want to give a shout out to Tommy back in the studio for holding it down. I appreciate him for driving the bus while we're out here.
Tommy.
Shaw came out here.
Shawski.
Lost the debate. Wasn't, he gave his best shot. But came
Joe
up short.
Flacco is 40 years young.
Younger than all A-Rod.
Yeah, 6'6", 245 pounds. That's a man right there.
I was fat when I was 240.
You're not 6'6".
I'm 5'5". 5'5". Guys, I gotta. So when I do get to my goal weight for the Dayton Weight Loss Secret Program, one of the agreements that I do before and after, I already can't wait to share the fat picture of me. It's so funny. That one, I'm sitting in the studio. Like, I have no neck. My calves, like, it looks like I have no knees either. No neck, no knees. My calf just, like, it doesn't, like, narrow down into the shoe. It just is, like,
just
ballooned
there.
out. Oh, yeah. When you're 5'5", like I am, being 240 pounds is ridiculous. That's some ridiculous stuff. But nonetheless, Tommy, appreciate you back in the studio. Kev, appreciate you. Appreciate our friends here at Frickers. Frickers, the official sponsor of the Justin Kinder Show. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We do got Reds baseball coming up here later on tonight. The Reds are 30-51 against the Milwaukee Brewers from the start of the 2020 season to now. The Brewers have owned them, but the Reds are a half game out of a playoff spot. They don't have to. Look, you lose this series, you're not out anything. But I think people are really sitting back with the Reds and trying to say, like, win series back-to-back that are going to make us believe in you. Because every time they beat the Cubs, you split a series with the Pirates. Every time that they lose to a bad team that they shouldn't. Like, it doesn't surprise me when they beat good teams anymore, but they constantly keep stubbing their toe against lesser-than teams. But since the All-Star break, they beat the division-leading Phillies. They beat they beat the Mets, who are ahead of them in the wild card. They beat the Cubs, who are ahead of them in the wild card. They've beat the Rays, who are in a playoff spot right now. Like, they've beat really good teams. They have the toughest schedule in Major League Baseball post All-Star break. They've done their part. All right, they're 13-10 since coming out of the All-Star break with wins over a lot of playoff teams or division-leading teams. Milwaukee, they have to just not go in there. They got to welcome them in and just play with confidence. Chase Burns to the IL, by the way. That we'll follow that and talk more about that next week. We got some guests lined up. I'm excited for next week. Hopefully, talking about the Reds, winning a series. Winning that Phillies series, by the way, was huge. That was a big series win for them. But we have two teams in Ohio. The Guards are a half game out. Kev Nash's Guardians are a half game out of a playoff spot.
The Guardians.
Yeah. So the half game out of a playoff spot over there in the American League, and then of course the Reds in the National League a half game out. What's the likelihood we come into work Monday, both teams sitting in the playoff spot?
100%.
I like it. All right, that wraps it up for us. Until next week, this has been the Justin Kinder Show, presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirit.